Imagine a kid from a tiny Portuguese island kicking a ball around dusty streets, dreaming of something bigger than anyone could possibly imagine. That kid would grow up to become the most followed person on social media, score over 900 career goals, and basically rewrite what it means to be a football superstar. Welcome to the absolutely wild story of Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. February 5th, 1985. A baby boy is born in Funchal, Madeira, to a family that's about as far from football royalty as you can get. His mom, Dolores, worked as a cook and cleaner. His dad, Jose, was a municipal gardener who also happened to be the kit man for a local club called Andonia. They named their youngest son Cristiano Ronaldo, with that middle name coming from their admiration for Ronald Reagan, who was the US president at the time. Talk about an unexpected source of inspiration for a future football legend. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. Little Cristiano wasn't just any ordinary kid bouncing a ball around. Even at 8 years old, when he started playing for Andonia, where his dad worked, people could see something special brewing. His godfather, who also happened to be involved with the club, later said you could spot Cristiano's talent from a mile away. The kid would grab those footballs from his father's equipment bags and just start dribbling, copying the older players with this natural flair that made everyone stop and stare. But life wasn't all sunshine and football magic for young Ronaldo. Growing up in Sant Antonio, one of the poorest neighborhoods in Funchal, meant the family struggled financially. At 15, he even had to undergo heart surgery for a condition that could have ended his football dreams before they really began. Thankfully, he recovered completely and was back on the pitch in no time, more determined than ever. The real turning point came when Cristiano was just 12 years old. After dominating youth football in Madeira, Sporting CP invited him for a 3-day trial in Lisbon. They were so impressed, they signed him immediately for £1,500. But here's the kicker, Pratyush. This meant leaving everything behind. His family, his island home, his familiar accent that would soon become a source of mockery from mainland Portuguese kids. Moving to Lisbon was brutal for the young Ronaldo. The other kids at school laughed at his Madeiran accent, he struggled academically, and homesickness hit him like a truck. There were moments when he wanted to pack it all in and head back to the comfort of his island home. But something inside him, that burning desire to prove himself, kept him going. His youth coach at Sporting, Osvaldo Silva, called him a diamond after just one training session. That's when everyone knew they had something truly special on their hands. By 14, Ronaldo made a decision that would define his entire future. He convinced his mother and his tutor at Sporting to let him quit school entirely and focus solely on football. Imagine making that kind of life-altering choice as a teenager. Most kids that age are worried about homework and video games, but Cristiano was already plotting his path to football immortality. His professional debut came at 17, stepping onto the pitch for Sporting's first team against Inter Milan in a Champions League qualifier. Just picture that moment. A kid from a tiny island suddenly playing against some of the biggest names in European football. A month later, he scored his first professional goals in a 3-0 win against Moreirense, and the football world started paying serious attention.
Then came the moment that changed everything. August 12th, 2003. Manchester United, fresh off a friendly against Sporting, were so blown away by this skinny Portuguese teenager that they signed him for £12 million, making him the most expensive teenager in English football history. Sir Alex Ferguson saw something in Ronaldo that even the player himself might not have fully understood yet. Those early years at Manchester United were like watching a butterfly emerge from its cocoon. Ronaldo arrived as a flashy winger who loved his stepovers and tricks, but Ferguson molded him into something far more dangerous. The transformation was gradual but spectacular. He learned to use his athleticism more effectively, developed an incredible work ethic, and started scoring goals that defied physics. The 2007 to 2008 season was when Ronaldo truly announced himself to the world. 42 goals across all competitions, his first Ballon d'Or award at just 23 years old, and a Champions League title that cemented his status as one of the game's elite players. But this was just the beginning of what would become the most remarkable individual career in football history. Real Madrid came calling in 2009 with a world record transfer fee of £80 million, and Ronaldo's legend reached stratospheric heights. 9 years in the Spanish capital produced 4 Champions League titles, 4 Ballon d'Or awards, and a goal-scoring record that seemed to break new ground every single season. He became the club's all-time leading scorer with 450 goals, turned El Clasico matches into personal highlight reels, and basically redefined what it meant to be a Galactico. What made Ronaldo special wasn't just his natural talent, though he had that in spades. It was his absolutely obsessive dedication to perfection. Stories emerged of him staying after training to practice free kicks for hours, maintaining a body fat percentage that would make Olympic athletes jealous, and studying video footage of his performances with the intensity of a chess grandmaster. This wasn't just a gifted athlete. This was someone who turned self-improvement into an art form. The move to Juventus in 2018 showed that even in his 30s, Ronaldo wasn't slowing down. He became the first player ever to win league titles in England, Spain, and Italy, proving that his excellence transcended any single league or playing style. His impact went beyond just goals and trophies. He elevated the entire profile of Serie A and showed that age was just a number when you're operating at his level. But perhaps the most surprising chapter came when he joined Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia in late 2022. Many expected this to be a retirement tour, a chance to collect a massive paycheck while winding down his career. Instead, Ronaldo treated it like another mountain to climb. He became the first player to finish as top scorer in 4 different leagues, scored 35 goals in his first full Saudi Pro League season, and continued chasing that magical 1,000 career goal milestone. Speaking of milestones, let's talk numbers for a second, because Ronaldo's statistics read like something from a video game. Over 900 career goals, more than 200 international caps for Portugal, 5 Ballon d'Or awards, and a social media following that exceeds the population of most countries. He scored in 5 different World Cups, won the European Championship and Nations League with Portugal, and basically collected every individual and team honor the sport has to offer. But beyond the trophies and records, Ronaldo's impact on football culture has been revolutionary. He turned personal branding into an art form, showed players how to leverage social media for global reach, and demonstrated that athletes could transcend their sport to become genuine cultural icons. His rivalry with Lionel Messi pushed both players to heights that seemed impossible, creating a golden era of football that fans will talk about for generations. The dedication stories are legendary. Ronaldo reportedly spends over 3 hours daily on fitness and recovery, follows a diet so strict it would make nutritionists weep with joy, and maintains training routines that would exhaust players half his age. At 41, he's still scoring goals at the highest level, still chasing new records, and still displaying the kind of hunger that made him special as that skinny kid from Madeira. What's truly remarkable is how Ronaldo has evolved as a player throughout his career. He started as a tricky winger, became a goal-scoring machine, adopted his game as he aged, and continues finding new ways to impact matches even as his physical attributes naturally decline. This isn't just longevity, it's intelligent evolution, constantly reinventing himself to stay relevant at the highest level. His influence extends far beyond the pitch, too. Ronaldo's charitable work, particularly his support for children's hospitals and disaster relief efforts, shows a side of him that doesn't always make headlines. He's donated millions to various causes, used his platform to raise awareness for important issues, and demonstrated that superstar athletes can be forces for positive change in the world. As we look at Ronaldo's career in 2026, with him recently stating he plans to retire within the next 2 years, we're witnessing the final chapters of one of sport's greatest stories. He's still chasing that 1,000 goal milestone, still leading Portugal in World Cup qualifiers at 41, and still proving that excellence knows no expiration date. The boy from Madeira who cried when other kids mocked his accent became the most recognizable athlete on the planet.
The teenager who quit school to chase an impossible dream ended up redefining what's possible in professional sports. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just become a great footballer, he became a symbol of what happens when natural talent meets absolutely relentless determination. From those dusty streets in Funchal to the biggest stadiums in the world, from a shy kid struggling with homesickness to a global icon inspiring millions, Ronaldo's journey proves that sometimes the most extraordinary stories start in the most ordinary places. And honestly, that might be the most beautiful part of this whole incredible tale.